Welcome back, Inside Voomers. Today we're revving up and taking a deep dive into the top 10 classic cars featured in the Fast and the Furious franchise. We're skipping the Hollywood glam and getting right into the nitty-gritty. Car specs, power, and what makes these rides as legendary as the characters driving them. Let's burn some rubber. The 1970 Dodge Charger RT, Dominic Toretto's beast. Kicking off the list is none other than Dom Toretto's iconic 1970 Dodge Charger RT. This black beauty is the muscle car that defines Fast and Furious, and it's as tough as Dom himself. Under the hood, a 7-liter 426 CI Hemi V8 engine that produces a staggering 425 horsepower. It's got a 0 to 60 mile per hour time of 5.3 seconds, which is impressive, considering that this tank weighs over 4,000 pounds. Equipped with a 727 torque fleet automatic transmission, this beast is built for straight-line speed. Dom even modified it with a supercharger so large it practically needed its own zip code. Sure, it may have rolled and crashed more times than we can count, but let's be honest, nothing keeps this Charger down. It's more invincible than Dom's family loyalty. The 1995 Toyota Supra MK4, Brian's orange blur. Next up is the 1995 Toyota Supra MK4, driven by none other than the late, great Brian O'Connor. This legendary Supra isn't just eye-catching because of its bright orange paint job. It's packing serious heat. Fitted with a 3-liter twin-turbo inline-6 2JZ GTE, this beauty churns out 320 horsepower and a 0 to 60 time of 4.6 seconds. The Supra is famous for its insane tuning potential, and with a few aftermarket mods, it can easily crank out over 1,000 horsepower. That's right, Brian's Supra could practically hit ludicrous speed. And let's not forget that famous line from the first movie, "I owe you a 10-second car." Well, this Supra delivered, with a quarter-mile time close to 10 seconds flat. Yeah, it's a legend for a reason. The 1986 Chevrolet Yenko Camaro SYC, the rare breed. Remember the 1969 Yenko Camaro SYC from Too Fast, Too Furious? This is no ordinary Camaro, it's a rare Yenko model. Packing a 7-liter 427 cubic inch V8 engine with 450 horsepower. This bad boy could sprint to 60 miles an hour in just 5.4 seconds back in the day. Only 201 units of the Yenko SYC were made, making it one of the rarest muscle cars out there. It was built by legendary tuner Don Yenko, who knew a thing or two about taking a normal Camaro and turning it into an absolute street monster. The combination of raw power and rarity makes this Camaro as sought after as Letty was by Dom. The 1971 Nissan Skyline GT-R Hakosuka, the original Godzilla. Let's not forget the 1971 Nissan Skyline GT-R Hakosuka, a car that has been burning rubber long before Skylines were tearing up the streets of Tokyo. This sleek classic was driven by Brian in Fast and Furious 6, and it's a legend in its own right. Under the hood is a 2-liter inline-6 S20 engine producing 160 horsepower. Now that may not sound like much today, but in 1971 it was a game changer. The Hakosuka's lightweight frame at just over 2,600 pounds gave it agility and acceleration that left competitors in the dust. With a 5-speed manual transmission and rear-wheel drive, this car could drift before drifting was even cool. It's the granddaddy of the Skyline series and the original king of the Japanese sports car scene. The 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner, Dom's bold classic. Dom doesn't just stick to Chargers. In Furious 7, we see him behind the wheel of a 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner, another muscle car masterpiece from the golden era. This particular Roadrunner is powered by a 440 cubic inch Super Commando V8, producing around 390 horsepower and capable of a quarter-mile time of 13 seconds. Not bad for a car weighing over 3,500 pounds. Dom knows power when he sees it, and the Roadrunner's simple yet aggressive styling, coupled with its muscle under the hood, makes it one of the most memorable rides in the series. The 1967 Ford Mustang Fastback, a Tokyo Drift Showstopper. Now, who could forget the 1967 Ford Mustang Fastback from Tokyo Drift? It's probably the most controversial Mustang in the franchise because it gets a Nissan engine swap. Yeah, purists look away now. Originally fitted with a 289 cubic inch V8, the car in the movie was modified with a Nissan RB26DETT 2.6-liter twin-turbo inline-6 engine, pumping out about 280 horsepower. With this combination, it's a Frankenstein creation, blending American muscle with Japanese performance. Talk about bridging gaps between car cultures. This Mustang is as rebellious as Sean's driving. The 1973 F-Bomb Chevrolet Camaro, Letty's Green Monster. In Fast and Furious, Letty drives the 1973 F-Bomb Chevrolet Camaro, and this car is a mean, green machine. It's based on David Freiberg's real-life F-Bomb Camaro, a street-legal car that can annihilate most supercars. With a 6.6-liter 400 cubic inch twin-turbo V8, this beast generates a staggering 1,500 horsepower. That's right, 1,500 horses under that lime green hood. It's built to destroy the quarter mile, and though it wasn't featured much in the movie, its real-life counterpart can hit 200 miles an hour with ease. The 1999 Nissan Skyline GTR R34, Brian's high-tech monster. Back to Brian. And this time he's driving the car that solidified him as a street racing icon, the 1999 Nissan Skyline GTR R34. This car is not only visually stunning with its aggressive bodywork, but it's also a technological marvel. Powered by a 2.6-liter twin-turbo inline-6, the RB26DETT, this car produces 280 horsepower stock. However, with a few tweaks, it's capable of hitting 800-plus horsepower. It also features Nissan's ATT-ESA ETS all-wheel drive system, which makes it a cornering king. With a 0 to 60 time of 4.9 seconds, this Skyline isn't just fast in a straight line, it's a handling masterpiece. The 1970 Ford Escort RS 1600, the rally legend. In Fast and Furious 6, Brian drives a 1970 Ford Escort RS 1600, a car that's tiny, nimble, and built for rally racing. The Escort RS 1600 comes with a 1.6-liter inline-4 BDA engine, producing around 113 horsepower. Sure, it's not a power monster, but what it lacks in brute force, it makes up for in agility. Weighing just over 2,000 pounds, the Escort could dart through narrow spaces and over uneven terrain with ease, making it perfect for high-speed chases in confined areas. This classic rally car is light, quick, and legendary in its own right. The 1987 Buick GNX, Dom's rare muscle car. Finally, we have the 1987 Buick GNX that Dom drives in Fast and Furious 4. The GNX is a limited edition muscle car that puts fear into the hearts of Ferraris and Porsches alike. Powered by a 3.8-liter turbocharged V6, it pumps out 276 horsepower and 360 pound-feet of torque. While it might not sound like much by today's standards, the GNX was faster than most supercars in the 80s, with a 0 to 60 mile-per-hour time of 4.7 seconds. This Buick wasn't about flash. It was all about raw performance. And there you have it, our list of the 10 most legendary classic cars from the Fast and Furious franchise. Whether it's American muscle or Japanese imports, or a Franken-car of the two, these cars all share one thing in common: they're built to thrill. So next time you're watching these iconic films, take a moment to appreciate the machines that made it all happen. Stay fast, stay furious, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Your support means the world to us.